Ladies and gentlemen, fellow yo-yoers, and hopefully the battle system team for Tekken. If you're watching this, much appreciated. I am TDB Merku. I like playing Noctis and Josie offline. They're my favorite characters in the game right now. But I feel like Josie is definitely slightly stronger right now overall. And I would like to propose a few quality of life changes and maybe some ideas for into the future if there's a next season for like a new move or something for Noctis Lucis Skylum, for him to be slightly more competitive with other powerful characters. Number 1. While standing 1-2 frame advantage. Right now it forces crouch at +2. This means if you try to check them with a down forward 1, the while standing 4 will trade and give them advantage. Like so, as you can see, +3. I am advantaged for mashing after getting punished on my low. I don't like the fact that that can happen, so please make while standing 1-2 +3. Number 2, 1-2 frame advantage. Right now, Noctis' 10 frame Punisher does a whopping 27 damage, which is pretty good. It leaves you up close at frame advantage, but that frame advantage is very small at only +1. So on hit situations against a character like Kazumi, if you try to check the duck with a down forward 1, this will happen. Which sucks. Please make it +3. Number 3, down back 4. Down back 4 is a 17 frame low that keeps you standing and makes you -1 on hit for only 9 damage. The only good thing about this low right now for Noctis is the fact that on block it's -12, unlike his other lows, which are -13. This is really big in the Kazuya and Josie matchup, where -13 will means they will launch you with Twin Piston or Josie's while standing 2-1. Now, what I would like is for either this to stay the same pretty much, except being 0 on hit, so you're not giving away your turn, or on counter hit, instead of just being -1, it having the same effect as counter hit down forward 2, where it gives you a little stun and a lot of advantage. Number 4, up forward 4, picking up. Right now this seems to be very axis dependent, like if you're very close, it won't even reach there. Well, Noctis is also a small hitbox, you gotta imagine. With a slight sidestep to the right before we do it, the opponent lands even further. But then if we do a sidestep left, opponent ends up pretty close, right? But most of the times you do it like kind of like a keep out thing, or to get them to hit them during the step. So if they are stepping like this, it's good, but if they're trying to stepping like this, it's bad for your pickup. I would like this to be a bit more consistent. Like even in the main axis I found with a small sidestep right, you can get the pickup still, which is nice. But overall I would just like the whole thing to be either, you know, to just be more consistent. You know, like at the farthest range that it doesn't work, fine, but just keep the opponent like slightly closer, I'd say. Just make it like slightly easier to get that pickup, like I'd much appreciate that. Number 5, roll mix-up. Right now the roll mix-up, I absolutely adore the wall bounce. I love like going into crouch, then maybe do something like a while standing 1-2, a down forward 2, single 2, or 2-2. These are all options I really like. But there's an issue for me is when I try to do like a comeback kind of deal, I want to start like maybe doing like a slide, you know, mixing it up like this. But the slide right now is like very risky in my opinion, because like as you can see it's -20, and everyone and their mother can while standing launch this without any issue. And for the reward that you get, which is, you know, you do the slides, that's 17 damage, and you get this for 20, that's 37 damage, right? 37 damage. What I would propose is the slide, because it's so telegraphed, right? It comes out of the roll stance, it's very telegraphed. If you just roll an opponent's face, they can just very easily stop you by just doing like, even like, oh damn, it caught me off guard with the timing, sorry. Just like this, you know, just like, or a down for 1 if you want to be even faster. Like you see the roll, you immediately do this, an Asakai can just can and just launch you if you roll on their face, making the roll like pretty useless against them. So yeah, what I would propose is that if you do land a slide in a combat situation, that this becomes a screw. That down 2 screws them. Not this screw, because this screw gives a lot of damage, right? That's a bit too much. But like this into 2-2 for like a smaller combo that's like, you know, 60-ish damage, like 70-ish with walls, something like that, I would really like. Because like I said, it's very telegraphed. It's like a bit like, you know, bob sliding as well. Very telegraphed, very easy to interrupt. So I would really like it to be slightly more rewarding if you do land it. Number 6, down back 2. Just make it like season 1 again. Okay, now I want to discuss an idea for a new move for Noctis. You have given Noctis some back turn shenanigans by giving him 2 moves that can transition into back turn. One of them being his 14 frame punish. So what you could do is, instead of finishing your 14 frame punish, go here into back turn, and now you have like somewhat of a mix-up between something like the generic back turn low or the 2. But imagine if you're doing like something like this for Kipo, like this string, which you can sometimes see players doing. On hit, this makes so much distance that your generic lows, they will not reach. The only thing you can do is mid launcher, or if I can do it, there we go, highest point, or a mid plus unblock mid that goes over lows. Because the jump out of back turn goes surprisingly far. It looks kind of weird, but it's pretty neat. But overall, what I would propose is for us to get a low like Yoshimitsu's down 1. But, you know, as with Noctis notation, 2 usually refers to web weapon, so I would say down 2. You got the down 1 anyway from back turn, so give him a down 2 that's kind of like this move. But slightly better for frames maybe. But just like something like that, something like low with the reach that this has, just to create a mix-up in those kind of distance situations like this. Yeah. That's what I would like. Number 8. Now, this doesn't need to be buffed, but I would like the animation to change a bit. Because for tracking, the only thing that they can't really sidestep after this is while standing 2. But the thing is, while standing 2 by itself, because, you know, if you do the launcher, you will be minus 14 if they block it. But it by itself is minus 3, but look at this animation. You like scoop the opponent up, but they're plus 3. They're plus 3. In this kind of situation, it's very deceptive, I'd say, especially for like newer players. They would definitely think they're in a bad spot if they get hit by this, or if they hit this that they're in a good spot. But this is not the case. You're minus 3. I mean, you will get counter hit if you do a downfall 1 and Yoshimitsu does a downfall 2 there. He will launch you. You will not even trade. So what I'd say is either make this like 0 on hit by itself, if you do hit, like at least 0, or just change the animation to be just like a bit like just like a normal hit, like this. Cause right now that's way too deceptive. I don't like that. Number 9. Well, you know how we have like down 4 is this for us, and for Kazumi this is down 4. Well, she also has, like, besides this down 4, she also has down 3+4, which is a generic down 4. Please, for the love of God, give us generic down 4 for down 3+4 as well. By God, that's like something I want so much. So yeah, that's it. That's the changes I would like for Noctis vs. Skylum going forward. Just some quality of life changes I would appreciate. You know, I don't have to get all of them, but at least some of them would be nice. So yeah, if you like my content, please subscribe, hit the bell icon. I mostly do Tekken content, as you can see, a lot of like my matches and stuff. Yeah, I'd say that's everything I want to say in this video. So thanks for watching and bye.